All right, today we're diving deep into a concept that's, well, it's like a cosmic blueprint for reality itself. It's a principle that guides the lives of billions of people. We are talking about Dharma. So let's get into it.
So let me start by asking you this. What invisible law, what fundamental idea shapes the everyday lives, the morality, and even the ultimate goals of more than 1 billion people on this planet? The answer? It all comes down to one word: Dharma.
To really get what Dharma is, you have to look at where the word comes from. It's from this ancient Sanskrit root three, which literally means to hold, to support, to maintain. So don't think of it like a strict rulebook. It's more like the very fabric that holds the entire universe together and keeps it in order. What makes Dharma so fascinating is just how massive it is. It's not just one thing. It's a key idea in major traditions like Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism, and it covers everything from your personal individual duty all the way up to cosmic law. It's your sense of morality, it's the ultimate truth, and it's pretty much everything in between.
Okay, so to really wrap our heads around this, let's see how different traditions look at it. First up, we've got Dharma in Hinduism. And here you can kind of think of it as the path of cosmic and social order.
So in the Hindu worldview, there are four main goals in life, called the Purusharthas. And look at what's right there at the foundation. Step 1, Dharma, or righteous living. It's the ethical framework that guides how you pursue wealth, which is artha, and pleasure, which is kama. The idea is that if you live righteously, you can balance those things on your way to the final goal, moksha, or total spiritual liberation.
And this quote from the ancient epic, the Mahabharata, just says it all, doesn't it? Dharma has been explained to be that which helps the upliftment of living beings, that which ensures the welfare of living beings. It's not some abstract idea floating in space. Its purpose is super practical and compassionate. It's the path that actually helps everyone do better. Okay, now let's make this personal. Inside that huge cosmic Dharma, there's something called Swadharma. The Swa part means one's own. So this is your duty, your specific, unique role to play. It's this beautiful idea that every single person has a part to play in keeping the universe in harmony. The most famous example of this has to be Arjuna's dilemma in the Bhagavad Gita. So picture this. He's a warrior, he's on a battlefield, but when he looks across the field, he sees his own cousins, his teachers, everyone he knows on the other side. He just throws down his weapons, saying, "How can I possibly fight my own family?" But his guide, the god Krishna, tells him that fighting is his swadharma. It's his duty as a warrior, and he has to do it, without getting attached to whether he wins or loses. And traditionally, this idea of swadharma was connected to a really complex social structure called the Varna system. In this model, society was basically organized into these groups with specific duties. You had Brahmins as priests, Kshatriyas as warriors, and so on. The whole idea was that each role was essential for the entire society to function smoothly.
All right, now let's switch gears and jump over to Buddhism, where this concept really evolves. The word you'll hear is Dhamma. That's the Pali version of Dharma. And even though the word is almost the same, the focus shifts big time. It moves from social order to personal liberation.
To get the Buddhist Dhamma, you first have to understand the problem it's trying to solve. And that problem is samsara. This is the endless, deeply unsatisfying cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. It's like being stuck on a cosmic merry-go-round of suffering, and the entire goal is to figure out how to get off. So, in his very first sermon, the Buddha basically laid out his diagnosis of the human condition. And the very first thing he said, the first noble truth, is that life, just as we normally live it, involves suffering. The word is dukkha. And it's not just about, stubbing your toe. It's this deeper feeling of dissatisfaction that comes from everything being temporary and our tendency to cling to things that are destined to change. The Buddha's entire teaching, the Dhamma, is really structured around these four noble truths. And it's brilliant. It's just like a doctor's visit. First, the doctor says, okay, there's an illness. It's suffering. Second, here's what's causing it. It's craving and desire. Third, the good news. There is a cure. You can end the suffering. And fourth, here's the prescription to make it happen. So what's in that prescription? Well, it's the Noble Eightfold Path. This is the Dhamma in action. It's a set of practical guidelines for how you think, speak, and act. When you practice all of these together, they create a universal path out of that cycle of samsara. And it's a path that's open to absolutely anyone, no matter who they are or where they come from. The Dhamma is so absolutely central to Buddhism that it's considered one of the three jewels, or the three refuges. In fact, a person officially becomes a Buddhist by taking refuge in these three things: the Buddha as the ultimate teacher, the Dhamma as the path or the teaching itself, and the Sangha as the community of people who are on that path with you.
So let's tie all of this together. What we have are two incredibly profound ways of looking at a single core concept, and they lead down two very different paths. One is really about order, and the other is all about liberation.
Let's just break down the key difference here. In Hinduism, the focus of Dharma is on maintaining order, both in the cosmos and in society, by doing your unique part, your Svadharma. The goal is a perfectly balanced and harmonious society. But in Buddhism, the Dhamma's focus shifts completely to the individual. It's a universal path, not tied to your social role, and it has one single goal: to free that individual from suffering for good. And that leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about, right? Does true fulfillment come from finding your place in the grand scheme of things, from embracing your role to help maintain harmony? Or does it come from a much more radical path, from transcending the world and all its built-in suffering completely? Definitely something to chew on. Thanks for watching.